All right, what up? Welcome, everybody. Stuart Anderson, Spencer Chipping. How's it going?
Hey, good morning and welcome.
All right, Crown Council Live. We're grateful to be together. Thankful for the opportunity to produce this little live stream broadcast. This is our hope, our intention to connect with the community of Crown Council. This is your 1 hour a week where you can just feel loved, feel like you're part of something big. If you didn't know it, there's about 1,200 Crown Council practices across the United States, which, I mean, I guess that equals close to 10,000 Crown Council team members, 60 Crown Council resource partners. I mean, there's a big community out there that we hope to connect with and feel part of a community. Like we always say, Spence, you never practice alone.
That's correct. So
Nice.
good.
Hey, so one of the great ways that anybody in the Crown Council can connect with each other is there's a lot of live events, a lot of opportunities to gather with other Crown Council members. Last week, a new group gathered, the Rivers for Hope expedition, and Joey Smith from the Crown Council team participated in that Rivers for Hope. And we're going to bring him on for just a second to talk about his experience and what it was like. This is a Joey. There he is. So Rivers for Hope was created a couple years ago by Dr. Jared Tyre, and we had Jared on last week as they were like getting ready to leave Thursday. And the idea was this is an awesome opportunity for Crown Council members, spouses, team members to come together, do something fun, have some dental CE, and just be together with a like-minded community. And they enjoyed a fishing trip, much like the old Harley Davidson rides. This is like the new, what is this? Like the new age Harley Davidson ride, just with fishing. Joe, is that a good description of what happened?
Yes, and a much safer version.
Much safer. Very good. Joey, maybe tell us about what the trip was like, how it went. Just give us all the details.
Man, it was just amazing, and I have some butterflies now. So is this part of being on this live stream?
Yes, very nerve-wracking.
No, it's great. It was such an amazing time, Stu and Spence, with just some incredible dentists and these guys and gals that came together to do some good and to raise some money. And then we stayed in the same place. We stayed in this giant cabin, and just the camaraderie and the community that we felt there together, and going out to the fishing in these incredible rivers each day with amazing guides. And I mean, I can't thank Steve enough for being there. Where would we all be without Steve, professionally and personally, with the guidance that he gives us, and coming and spending the week with us, and giving us an hour's worth of CD. The first evening was incredible. Just amazing people to be with, and what an experience. Incredible memories and really amazing food.
Nice. Joe, I hate to put you on the spot, but can you remember who went? It was a pretty big group.
It was a big group, and I just so happened to have a list here in front of me. I could remember it, but Dr. Steve Beveridge, first of all, I have to say, Marcus and Nellie Stones, the cabin that they let us use there in Island Park, Idaho, was more like a lodge and simply amazing. At the last minute, they were not able to join us, but still allowed us to be there. And oh, what an opportunity for us it was. It was incredible. Steve Beveridge and his son Steve, Lindell Kemet, J.D. Henderson, Jeff Henderson from Utah Valley Dental Lab in the past, great guy. He was there with his wife, Susan Pruitt and William Pruitt, Mary Beth Brown and David Brown, Michael Kelly. So good to have him and his wife there with us. And James Stafford and his two boys. Awesome family. And then Susan Evans, Harvey Ross, and Carson Evans. So fun to have the Evans there with us. Had a great time. And then Andrew Albert, the crazy Canuck that wore shorts the whole time, even at Old Faithful in the freezing rain. He's nice. Awesome. And then of course Steve and Owen, and especially I just want to mention Patricia Diaz and Alex Nunez from from Esperanza. Oh, what a great thing to have them with us. They were so fun, great sports. I know they don't like the cold, but they did so well. It was so fun to have them.
Very cool. I'm going to show the website. Can you guys see that? Rivers for Hope.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so for those watching and wondering, the what Joey's talking about has two real big purposes. One, bringing together Crown Council members and their teams, and two, all the money is donated to the humanitarian work that is done by Smiles for Life. So it is a fundraising opportunity to go on these trips. And then, as you can see, these are some of Jared Tyer's expeditions, obviously. But that is kind of the twofold purpose of this, is bringing together Crown Council members and then donating money to Smiles for Life and the humanitarian trip. So
Yeah.
I would say it served its purpose, right, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was wonderful. It's so fun to be there. And what's additionally just crazy is when we tell these fishing guides what we're there for and who the people we are with are and what they're doing and where the money's going. It was incredible. It was so fun.
All right, Joe. Big question. Next year, is it happening?
Oh, it's happening. It's happening in a big way. We will be at the headwaters of the Missouri and the Blackfoot Rivers in Montana. This is the area, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, where Norman McLean gained his fabled stories in A River Runs Through It. I mean, it's going to be amazing, beautiful country. We're going to be with world-class guides again up there. And we will have these two guys that are with us. Their names are Cheech Pierce and Curtis Fry. They were with us this year. And if anyone knows anything about fly fishing, these guys they run flyfishfood.com, and it is the biggest thing in fly fishing, seriously, in the world.
I'm sorry, did you say that guy's name was Cheech?
Yes, I did.
He's got to be a fly fisherman guide. That's great.
He is. Those guys are amazing. They did a little demonstration for us at this on, I think it was Thursday night, and unbelievable. It's funny too. Just because I wanted to have a little fun, I dropped every time we were with our new guides, I would drop their names just to say, hey, yeah, we've got these two guys with us. They're like, what? You have those guys?
Wow, fun.
They're big names, and they loved being there. They were such good guys, and added to the whole feel and the experience. They'll be with us again next year. And I hear that half of the boats are full already.
They are. Yeah, they're already full. I know Marcy here in the Crown Council office sent out an email to the email network, which asked for signups, and yeah, it's filling up fast. So
be a blast. If you're thinking about it, do it. Don't sit on the fence.
If you watched last week, I think Jared said that it raised close to $40,000 for Smiles for Life. So also a huge success for a whitening campaign.
Wow, I hadn't heard that. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Thanks so much. Grateful.
You.
Joey's joining us from home, a little under the weather. He exerted himself too hard on that fishing trip, so he's got to.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it, man.
See you, Joey.
Okay, see ya. All right, we got Crown Council member Rick Hagstrom. Chip, you're a fly fisher. You're a fly fisherman.
Yes, love it.
You gonna go?
I would love to be there, Stu.
Yeah,
sounds amazing. Where they were this go around was awesome, and where they're going upcoming in Montana would just be. I've never fished that. But that would be awesome.
I've only pulled like little baby from the Uintas, just little baby fish.
Stu, you want to know what's crazy? Talking about these gatherings, man. The Crown Council now hosting fly fishing, and at the annual event, we've got a ski event, we've got a snowmobiling event. It just is talk about some expeditions that we have going on.
Susan Evans is like a big scuba diver. She was going to do like a scuba let's go. We are just getting started with these expeditions. So
yeah.
All right, we're going to bring Dr. Rick Hagstrom in, and as he's coming in, I'm going to share my screen. This is a video, a 2-minute video that plays on his website. Chip, can you see that okay?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to play this as he's coming in as a little introduction. Rick, we're going to play this video as an introduction to your practice.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, I've always loved surfing. It's just been the thing that we used to sacrifice everything and anything to do in Hawaii. We had a pact, 3 of us. We went out surfing no matter how big the waves were. We almost killed ourselves several times. And over the years, I've just enjoyed getting out there and being in the water, and it's just very relaxing, very calm. I talked to the years, I've just enjoyed getting out there and being in the water, and it's just very relaxing, very calm. And I talked to one of these high school buddies. He lives up in Carlsbad. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he said, going out in the water surfing, we can almost recapture those days of youth when everything was so wonderful. My passion started out from when I was a kid. I said the wrong thing to a big small guy in Hawaii. I almost lost my front tooth, which led to a lot of dental work. It got me interested in dentistry, and I got to a point with my dentist, Dr. Watson, and it was either take the front tooth out or save it, and he was able to save it, and he couldn't make any mistakes. That was when I was 14 years old, and that tooth is still right here. It's exactly the same as it was. So it's really resonated throughout the years, and I'm such a perfectionist. Every time I work on anyone's tooth, I'm just so passionate about doing the right thing for them.
Definitely a personal relationship. I always feel comfortable when I come here. Everybody makes me feel very welcome.
The most important thing to me, again, I'm a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and have a different perspective than when I first started out, is that relationship with the patient. Because I know people, I know their kids, I know their grandkids, I know these people, and I have to do what's right for them.
When I come here, I feel like a part of the family. I don't feel like a customer. I feel like they're here to take care of me, and I trust them to do that.
I mean, Michelle's face when you walk in the door, she's just happy to see you. It's genuine. She's just able to convey it's about you in that moment. Mary is the hygienist. She's a delight.
The team here is great. We hire for attitude, the go-getter attitude, and people that can develop relationships. The medical appointments are 9 minutes long, 11 minutes max. The doctor's typing in a computer terminal. No one's looking you in the eye. We focus on talking to the patients, get to know what's going on with them, because there's so many things involved in going to the dental office. We've got a good group. It's a small office. It's like a family here, and we treat our patients like family as well.
Nice. I thought that was so good.
That's awesome.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Good, good.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being on. Anything you want to say about your introductory video? That was so awesome.
Well, it's really fun to watch that again. I almost killed myself because I'd gone to the gym in the morning, and I went out there surfing, and then I had to come back to the office to do the in-person stuff, and that was a wild day. Rusty from Dental CMO, he set it all up, and the guy filming it had come down from Utah, and he'd never been at the beach before, and he had his drone and everything like that, and he lucky he didn't crash his drone in the water, Wow. But it was a fun experience, and all that stuff really resonates with me.
Yeah, I really love how you said we hire for attitude. What a cool part of your culture. I love that. Well, Rick's been part of Crown Council since almost the very beginning. I've got a few statistics. One of very few who has ever attended all 27 annual events. So all the gatherings of the Crown Council he's been at, raised over $77,751 for Smiles for Life, and just involved. Rick, when we think of Crown Council leadership, is at the pinnacle, at the tip. So we're grateful for all you do to set the example for other Crown Council members, Dr. Hagstrom. Maybe you could share with us how your journey started, how you got into dentistry, and how you landed where you are right now.
Well, I grew up, well, the other story I didn't tell in that video, I got, almost lost my front tooth to a big small guy in Hawaii. The other thing is the guy that taught me how to build my first surfboard was a dentist. And so I was shaving the board down and make it. And I was such a perfectionist that by the time I finished the board, like, you know, like when you get a haircut, you get cut one side, a little bit more. And finally the board was so thin, and I had grown, you know, it took me like 4 or 5 months. I'd grown so much because I was 13 or 14. The board didn't float me anymore. So I had to sell it as soon as I finished. So I was too much of a perfection. I was a perfectionist from the very start. So, I mean, not many people know what their career is going to be when they're 13, 14 years old, you know, and I'm just one of those oddballs, and I'm just so, just still really, and I didn't really know what I was getting into anyways. That'd be kind of cool. And then the guy that fixed my front tooth, he had a really nice beach on the our house on the beach in Hawaii next door to us, you know, and I was like, hey, that'd be all right too. So combination of things, got me close to the door. And then once the door was open, I just enjoyed staying up to date. I just talked to my guy from Patterson. He's just in that the DS Sirona World thing in Vegas, and filling me in on everything that happened there and all the new changes in digital dentistry. And it's just exciting to be able to learn new things every single day. And that's what I love about dentistry. That's what I love about Crown Council too, because I was talking to Greg the other day, and everyone must have been out of the office. He answered the phone, and he's like, yeah, it's every year. I go, it's better each year. He goes, well, it's different every year. We do something a little different each year. And so I'm curious to see how, what we're going to do in Salt Lake City this year.
Yeah, it's coming fast.
Yeah, I can see Spencer laughing. It's like, okay.
Rick, a couple questions for you that I'd love for you to share, impart some of your wisdom to the group. What is it that makes, I mean, that video, which I love about your team, what is it that makes your team so special? How do you train? How do you hire? What is it that you're creating or doing that's making that practice such a place where patients love to be?
Well, I'll tell you both the take-home message and the honest truth. The honest truth is I used to have, and if Steve listens to this, he'll remember, we used to have Thursdays, we go out for dinner with the kids, and they're little, and they go, Daddy, who'd you fire today? Because we always fired people on Thursdays because it was the end of the working week or the weekend. And my kids, when they're little, like Sage and Sky, you know, you guys have seen them at Eagle U and at Crown Council, they're like, Daddy, who'd you fire today? Because Thursdays was traditionally firing day in our office. And so I told Steve, it was right when Steve started at Tops. He had like a year sabbatical, and he started Tops. And I was one of his first clients in the new organization. And I made a vow not to have to get rid of firing Thursdays. And so in that video, Michelle's been with me 15 years. Mary, the hygienist, she's been with me about 17 years. And we have a core group of people that have just been with us forever. And that is not my nature. I'm very critical, very perfectionistic, and I piss people off really easily. And so it's been a journey for me. It's just not an event. And you can't go to one of Steve's leadership classes and do it. I go to leadership every quarter, you know, with Steve. Yeah. It's the one thing is just being able to have relationships with people and accept their, I call it frailties, but it's just accept that people are human, that we're working with. They're not going to do it perfect the whole time, but you just keep encouraging them. And the biggest thing that really hit home for me recently was I was having trouble, finding people during the pandemic and new assistants, and my daughter Sky, she's 25 now, just got married, and she's like, Dad, you can't yell at her like that. She's like, that's like yelling at me. Would you yell at me when I'm new at my job? And I'm like, oh my gosh, So I had to, it's just got my littlest one put things in perspective for me, that we have to treat people with respect. And I have it right here. Be respectful to everyone, be forgiving, and be kind and caring. Every single day I repeat that to remind myself. So leadership does not come naturally to me. It's something I have learned over the years, and you guys have helped me with that.
Nice. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your practice, how you've built it. You said in the video it was smaller. What have you done, or what would you do different or the same that's made the business successful?
Yeah, our situation is kind of unique, because if you look at all these numbers like Dental Intel and Blue IQ and all that kind of stuff, we don't have that many patients, but our procedures per patient per year is huge. It's like $3,500 a year or something like that for each patient. We only, and the other, when I talk to my dental intel people, they're like, oh, usually most offices like 600 or 800 or something like that, or 500. Wow. So I think it just has to do with the time and effort we spend on relationships. That first visit. I mean, we got a, you go to take your car into the Jiffy Lube, they got a 24-point inspection. And we have a 24-point inspection of your mouth, your head, your neck, oral cancer, your jaw, perio. We have the perio book. We go through the perio book in every single patient. And we do all kinds of stuff. And the result is there are two things. One is patients go, they're wowed. They say, I've never had a dentist be that thorough before. And I say, well, good, thank you. And for us, it's, we take it for granted. And also when I'm that thorough, gosh, I'm going to find all kinds of stuff. And they're going to appreciate that I took the extra time and effort to look that closely. And especially when I don't find anything, they know that their mouth's in good shape, and other people have different experiences, but so being thorough, having that relationship. And then my goal is to see as few patients per day as possible. Okay, doesn't that go against logic? Don't you want to see it?
Yeah, don't put that in your culture guide.
I want to see 1 or 2 patients in the morning, 3 or 4, 2 or 3 adjustments in the afternoon, and then spend 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours on one patient and knock it out of the park doing a bunch of complete thorough dentistry. Because the other thing is we do sedation, the oral conscious sedation, and then people want me to do everything. So we do root canals and crowns, and we have the CEREC machine. We, just knock it all out in one visit, get a lot of things done. So it's a combination of those things. Then the other thing is just the guy who's the best known pediatrician in town, and I said, Dr. Zold, how'd you become the most famous guy in town? He says, I'm just older than everybody else. So the more you do things, and I can start saying that now, I finally figured out how the procedures, figure that out. Then also how people work a little bit better. And then now people just come and see me, and we don't have to, worry about the marketing as much, the advertising and this and that. It's just people come from word of mouth. That's our word of mouth gets us all our patients. And that's what Steve always says, that's what you want. And I'm at that point in my career. So it's an evolution. It doesn't happen when you're right out of school. You got to have something to build towards. And I'm very happy where I'm at right now.
Very good. Any follow-up, Chip? Any questions?
Man, I've experienced everything that Dr. Hagstrom has shared here with him personally. I was able to go to the Dominican and work side by side him, and he should know that he was such a great mentor to my daughter Mia that was working side by side him. She's now full-time student in the nursing program up at the University of Utah. She loved that experience working with Rick for the full week in the Dominican, and I work with Rick on the mastermind groups. So he's a moderator, so I see his leadership showcased there, as well as his mentorship as he's teaching young kids in the Dominican. So yeah.
Nice. Rick, maybe I don't want to call it a shameless plug, but what would you say? Why the annual event? Why is this a thing that you participate in, and make it a point on your calendar? What is it about that gathering?
Well, I was just talking to the guy about the DS World, and it's a pump you up type of event too. And then of course they want to sell you $180,000 machine along with it. So the Crown Council doesn't do that. Thank God.
Should we start?
Well, hey, you have the environment for that. You could. Note to self. It's a good feeling, and how can you? And you're selling a feeling, okay? And that feeling that I get every year when I go to Crown Council and seeing other people, and sometimes it's not convenient because I remember when, like Jeff Gray, he missed it one year and they went to go see some tennis in Australia or something like that because Mary and him just love watching tennis, and I'm like, well, I can do this. I could go on a cruise. Oh, but it's Crown Council time. No, I don't want to miss Crown Council. I can't put why I go every year. Some of it's out of habit, okay, because I like doing the same things over and over again, and because I get for that feeling. And like Greg said, it's a good feeling every single time. It's different. It's different. It's entertaining, and it's a good feeling. And I think I'm going to get philosophical on you. In life, we want to get, I thought it was all about, money and pride and prestige and all kind of stuff. We want to feel a sense of fulfillment. And that comes from, there's probably some of that in the Bible and church and all that kind of stuff. I get that feeling at Crown Council, just a sense of fulfillment that I'm headed in the right direction. I can learn new things and be with like-minded people that are positive. Because I don't watch the news or anything like that, but I've heard there's all kinds of weird stuff going on out there, and so it's kind of nice to, get in a little bubble and be with people that are upbeat and positive that block all that stuff out, and then try and learn something new so that we can be better people after it and help other people. And it's just a culmination of all these things. And it's purely, can't measure it because it's a feeling. And I'm not a feely, touchy type of person myself. But this has gotten me involved and kept me going to Crown Council.
That's great.
And you guys have been on the humanitarian trips together. Is that just the one trip to the Dominican, Rick, or have you been on many?
Oh, I've been on a ton. Well,
okay.
I used to do it before Crown Council when I was right out of school. And then not with Crown Council, with a different group. And then once Crown Council started doing it, then my kids had this thing called 11th grade, or 10th grade, whatever. They needed community service hours, right? So I hauled the kids on it. My kids, one faints at the sight of blood, or I think both of them do. And so they're not cut out for the dental and medical world. And I'd haul them along on these trips, and they ended up loving it. And that's how I got Mia to assist for me, because Sky was with me, but we had an agreement. Sky would assist in the mornings, and then she could go play with the kids, and then I had to find another assistant for the afternoons. So that's where Mia came in. I actually even had Pam Peterson was one of my afternoon assistants on another trip. So I've been on several of these Dominican trips, and then we went to with Roy Hammond, and I had to recruit a dentist to go to Guatemala one time, and it was right when, I don't know if you guys remember Zika virus, but no one wanted to travel anywhere because of the Zika virus. And so we went down to the middle of up in the mountains of Guatemala, and we were going to all be killed by the Zika mosquito. And we didn't get any mosquitoes for some reason. I don't know what happened, but we still had fun. So I've enjoyed that. And that's where I get the most where I've gotten the most fulfillment in my life are those trips, because there's no insurance companies to hassle and no billing and this and that. You just do it out of the kindness of your heart. And then these people, they don't even thank you. They're like scared to death. They're going to the dentist, for goodness sakes. And it's not that we get thanks or anything. It's just that I know in my heart that I did something good.
Nice.
So good.
Rick, looking back on your career, if you were going to meet young Rick coming out of dental school, any advice, what maybe 2 or 3 pieces of advice you'd give to a young doc or Dr. Rick Hagstrom starting all over again?
Stick to your dental school ethics and all the things you learned in school. Don't try and invent it and do it on your own or fit into a corporate structure and get the numbers and this and that. If all you do is what they taught you in dental school, you're going to be happy and do a good job. And I get a chance to do, not very many dentists do this either, is a bunch of workman's comp stuff. And if you get hurt, and there's not a lot of dental injuries in workman's comp, but there's only a couple offices in San Diego that take care of this kind of stuff. But it's so cool. I can treatment plan just like in dental school, and they pay me, not 100%, but they pay me pretty darn well to do all the diagnostic wax up, the, placement of the implants, the temporary implant, developing the tissue, all this kind of stuff we're taught in dental school, but we're like too busy to do it now because we got to, I don't know what's so important we got to do, but just slow down, take it step by step. You're going to be successful. The sooner you start believing in yourself and your skills and honing those skills, the sooner you'll be, like independent of all these insurance companies and clinics and all that kind of stuff, because people are going to want good quality care and to develop relationships with their dentist. They can't have it in medicine anymore, So it's going to be the dentist, and we're going to be the new physician of the mouth.
Very cool. Very good. Any final questions, Spence, before we let Rick get back to work?
Man, just great to have you, Rick. Hope to be back in the Dominican with you sometime,
Yeah.
but I'll see you at some of the leadership meetings for sure.
Great. Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks,
Good to see
Doctor.
you.
Thanks, Dr. Hackstrom.
Yeah. Thanks, Stuart.
Grateful to have you on. Are you going surfing today, afternoon?
I don't know. I'll see. The weather's pretty warm now. It's like in the 70s. So I may get out there. Who knows?
That's awesome. All righty. Grateful for you.
Thanks, you guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
We'll see you.
Okay. Bye.
Chip, I had forgotten that you had served with him in the Dominican. That's so cool.
Yeah, spent a lot of time with him there, especially my daughter, like side by side every day. Yeah.
I bet I don't know how old his daughter Sage is, but she's got to be close to the same age as Mia. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty close.
Sky was with us on that trip.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Very fun. What a good guy.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna bring Steve in, our final guest. They are joining us live from Fort Worth, Texas, from Total Immersion. So Tops is running a live Total Immersion weekend today and tomorrow. And the fun part about the fun part about live stream is why not? We might as well have somebody join us live from where they are. So
I'm gonna disconnect.
Right.
Steve probably can't hear us.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Live from Fort Worth.
Live from Fort Worth.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's doing good.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
we're at Tops Total Immersion. Just broke for lunch. We got a huge room of practices from all over the country, including Dr. Charlie Langdon and Dr. Sandra Fuller.
Nice.
Chris Tacona's here as one of the Tops coaches.
Yep.
And we were just reminiscing a little bit when Dr. Langdon came to the very first dental boot camp the first time. We figured it was 95, I think. 95, so 27 years ago.
Wow.
Charlie came when he was in elementary school. And this has been a repeat experience many times. And Sandra, this is how many times?
Oh gosh, maybe 6 times
6 times.
Wow.
Yeah, slow learner.
since
Uh,
99.
And so we have this morning, we've been talking all about total patient service and how to raise the standard of patient service, which always results in higher case acceptance.
Mhm.
And I pulled Sandra and Charlie out of the crowd because they've been doing this for a long time. Their commitment to doing this has been decades long. And Sandra was just enlightening me. Your dental assistant who's been here before,
Mhm.
and you two have been working together for how many years?
24.
24 years.
Beginning.
And Sandra's practice, I think you stole a bunch of Charlie's
Well,
team members.
we talked there.
You inherited
Bill
them.
and we
Yes.
inherited them.
You inherited him.
At least
And
on one.
yeah, and so you've been here a bunch of times. Biggest takeaway from this morning?
I think my biggest thought now is we have some new team members. We have a lot of team members that have been trained already, and we have to all keep each other accountable. And we realize that we've fallen off from some of the things that we used to do because everybody doesn't know to do it. And then it just, the atrophy just kind of happens over time. So having us all back together again, we all listen to the same thing and we can all keep each other accountable for doing those things.
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody being on the same page to make sure everybody's doing all the steps correctly. Because we've lost a few of the steps. I realize.
And my biggest takeaway from this morning session is positivity. Just focus
Yes.
all on the positive.
Mhm.
That's where we move forward.
That's it.
And a rewarding way.
So we've had a great morning, day and a half to go. So we'll be here all afternoon, all day tomorrow, and all patient service focused. That's the name of the
Very
game.
good.
Highest
Hey, I-
level-
Wish you guys were here. Steve's
I wish we were.
Man, I was just going to ask this question. So we kind of got into this pattern of digital or online training, a lot of online training. Maybe explain why or how gathering together at this thing live is worth it. I'm not saying that online isn't great, but why make the effort to be together in person?
Energy.
Well, and the teams together, which I guess you could do that in your office, but we're working together. The energy is here. And my favorite part is my best friend from dental school from 25 years ago.
Oh, they're
is
sitting
here.
right next to each other.
Yes.
So Sandra,
And I
this is
just
the
cried
coolest
and
thing.
cried when I saw
So
her.
Sandra recommended that one of her best friends from dental school come, and so she brought her whole team, and they're sitting together just like dental school. So
So cool.
Take notes side by side.
yeah, it was great, just like you did in
Yeah,
dental
it's
school.
fun.
So yeah, the
of
energy and just the
energy.
idea. So we just broke for lunch. We're having a mastermind lunch. So all the team members are sitting together from, all the assistants and high assistants are together, hygienists together, doctors together. So we're gonna have a mastermind lunch, exchange ideas, best practices, the whole deal. So
That's it.
all great stuff when you're live in person and
That's right.
make all that happen.
Very fun.
Very
And they
cool.
feed us good too.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
do. Yes, we do.
And I asked Sandra, I asked both doctors if Entropy has entered the picture, you should be here.
It always comes
should be here.
unraveled and you got to keep
Yeah.
pulling it together. So.
Yep.
Steve, entropy happens.
Yes,
Yes.
it does. We did a skill of the week on that this week. Coming up.
Right.
So
Hey,
cool.
one last question for Chris. Chris, if you were going to tell a practice who's on the fence, who are like, I don't think we should go, or maybe it's not. What would you say? How would you encourage a practice to go about what they learn and what they experience?
Well, what I see when we're here together, and a perfect example are these two amazing people standing here, is when things need to happen in your practice and you work on it together in person, you gather together, retention happens.
Mhm.
They have team members that have been with them for a long time, and it's because they've invested in them and invested in them working together as a team.
And I
Nice.
can feel them as we're here and the newer people, I can feel them meshing together and we're
Yeah.
all like pulling tighter together. And I'm like, oh, I can feel it happening, that we're part of a group and we're all together. We're not separate people. I just can feel everybody getting together and helping and supporting each other better by being here
So
together.
good.
I mean, when you're traveling and doing things, it's a little bit stressful and everybody's working to get there and they're all helping each other. Here, let me help you with your bag. Let me help you get here and there. And it's
Mm,
sweet to watch that. So they're
Yeah.
real supportive and it's making it more cohesive
It's
as a
fun
group.
for them too.
Yeah.
It's fun for all of us. And that's what life's all about, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
So this is many may not be aware, but this is the birthplace. This is where it all started many years ago, originally with Dental Boot Camp. Now Total Immersion is really the foundational principles behind creating a culture of success. It all starts right here. So
very cool. Thank you, guys.
thanks
Grateful
for
to have
letting
you
us
on.
beam in, guys.
You
Yeah.
bet.
See ya.
Grateful to have you. Okay, enjoy the
Thanks
weekend.
a lot.
Yay.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're a 10.
Hey,
We're
you're
all
a 10.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
cool. Thanks, Steve. So navigation to Total Patient Service Institute.com is very easy. It has all the dates for leadership, which Rick talked about, and Total Immersion. So yeah, the TOPS website, Total Patient Service Institute.com. That's where you want to go for all those dates. So I would love to be. It is so that is
know.
correct. It's the energy of being there and very fun.
Yeah, you can feel the positive vibes come through the screen when they start
Yeah.
talking about everything.
I mean, I know there's a place for online. Maybe you have a team member that missed Total Immersion, or you want to get somebody up to speed, but nothing can replace that natural need of gathering together and
Yep.
learning together. So
So
very good.
true.
Well, Spence, that's the end.
Man,
done.
it's been good. A lot of positivity today, Stu.
Yeah.
Man, from the outside, to recap from the outside events and adventures to Rick's philosophy on doing business and continuing to grow, and then to wrap up with those positive vibes coming through the screen at Total Immersion. Just great day.
I was just getting positive vibes watching Rick at the beach. That's what I wanted.
know. So cool. Yeah.
When you could see his practice was kind of right there on those beach streets. I'm like, oh,
I know.
man.
I was wondering if he practices in flip flops, so it's just
He probably
quicker.
does. So good. All righty, Chip. Thanks so much. Grateful for everybody that joined us, and we're planning on next week. And will that be October yet, or still one more week in September? So
Yeah, we got one more.
29th. Yeah, 29th. We'll be back same time, 11 o'clock Mountain. Thanks everybody for joining. See ya.